An intro is better when we don't force it. Let's do.
You want to start with a game?
Ooh, no.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Jesus+Football podcast. You nervous?
Are you scared of it?
What you're doing matters more than just football.
I don't know. We'll probably cut it.
We're so back.
That is terrible.
God bless. Yeah.
I mean, we got
Well,
after it yesterday. What
we
was
did.
yesterday?
First camp, baby.
Adrian camp showcase, K through 12. It was an all-day event. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. It gets me fired up thinking about it. We had how many kids? We had over 50 kids from all of them. It was just a great event. I like we talked about, I like the smaller camps because you get to build relationships with the kids more. We knew all the K through third kids' names. I probably knew all the high schoolers' names. And then our biggest one, the 4th through 7th, I struggled with a couple names. But other than that, like, just the relationships that you build was amazing. It was awesome. You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah.
We're just going to keep talking about it. But
absolutely. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but first camp outside of Monroe.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it was.
That's that's definitely a cool little milestone to really start reaching out and getting into some new areas, getting the name out there. And I think it was really cool that we got to do so much with those kids in honestly a pretty short amount of time. Mm-hmm. You know, 2-3 hours is not that long when you think about it in one concentrated time with a certain group of kids. And I think being able to see the growth that they had as far as their skills on the field was awesome, but also getting to really talk about the whole reason that we're there and to talk about Jesus with those kids was really, really cool. And, you know, I'm sure you'll talk about the partnership with FCA and what we got to do with those things, but I think it was just such a cool experience because there was so many parts of it that were kind of those moments that you're just kind of like, wow, you know, to sit and think, wow, we are at Adrian College. We're on a college campus doing this. We're reaching out outside of Monroe. We're making connections in new areas and new places. There are moments that really make you sit down and just kind of think for a second about how cool it is and that, yeah, our hard work is paying off, but you think about the work that God's doing hopefully through us and through what we're doing with the company. So I think that was the coolest part for me was just those moments where you kind of sit and you can't really be feeling anything but kind of in awe at what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when you said that, like having a camp at a college, on a college campus, on a college football field, like it kind of just hit me when you said that, like, you know, you take a step back. Because, I mean, for me and even you, like we're so focused at the behind-the-scenes stuff because it's up to us to do everything, like at the end of the day, and there's a lot of help. So many people have helped us. Even yesterday, we wouldn't have been able to do what we did if it was just you and I.
Absolutely.
And so, like, thank you to everyone who's helped, but you're so focused on the behind-the-scenes stuff that you don't ever take a step back. And my Nana always says, you know, stop and smell the roses, and make sure you are seeing all the amazing things that's going on. But we're so focused on the behind-the-scenes stuff that, hey, everything needs to get done, and a lot of it's up to us to get done. And so, you know, to really sit back and think, hey, you know, we're really doing this, and we have different locations. I'm not doing it at a high school. Like, that's just super eye-opening and exciting. And honestly, like in a short period of time, like 3 years for a business, I think Jesus+Football has grown rapidly, and it's just been such a blessing to see that. But yeah, that really hit me just now when you said that. I mean, that's pretty dang sweet.
Yeah, I think in general in life, just because as a society we've become so focused on keeping things going, keeping it moving, being
like
busy,
what's
next, and very rarely we're always thinking about what still needs to be done, that we never really sit down and think about what we did, you know? And I think there were even a couple moments at the camp where I'm thinking to myself, okay, this drill is next. We're rotating this way with this new group. I got to be ready for these kids. We're shifting to this part of the schedule. I got to prepare for the offensive part of camp, defensive part of camp, whatever it was. But there were those few moments where I sat down and just looked out at the field, and it's like, man, you know, we did something cool. God did something really cool, and we're just kind of the facilitators of it here, you know? And those moments were really cool for me to get to just, like I said, you know, and like you said, just sit down and stop and smell the roses for a second and really enjoy where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Zach and I's favorite part of the camp, not really, but when the defensive individual drills are going on, we're both offensive players. We don't do jack squat.
I don't know anything, dude. Nothing.
So it's cool to see the other coaches work and us kind of just walk around and be with all of the kids. Like on offense, you're with the receivers, I'm with the quarterbacks. But to see like the linemen going to work and the linebackers and the safeties, like all of them doing different things, and the other coaches working, because at the end of the day, like these are all my best friends that are coaching these camps, and to see them using the gifts that God has given them on the football field to glorify Him by helping others and showing them good role models, it's just such a blessing. And I mean, I'm just so thankful for all the people in my life that have got us so far. And the best part is it's a quick turnaround, because we have the day we're filming this podcast, 11 days away from Ithaca.
11 days.
We're traveling up to your stomping grounds. Super excited for that. It's just going to be such a blast. Real quick, well, let's talk about this before. Behind the scenes, we got there at 7:30 in the morning. First camp was at 10. And the setup, like, we busted it out. It was awesome. We were there 12 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
3 camps, 12 hours. We got after it. It was awesome. I wouldn't have been able to do it without everyone else's help. 3 truckloads or whatever. But what was your favorite part of just yesterday? You can give a couple too, because I got a couple ideas, and some of them are going to be the same.
Yeah. Honestly, one of my favorite parts about yesterday was, so what we did was we partnered with FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and his name's Eric. Yep. So Eric was there, and he was helping us out, talking with the kids, and we got a really cool opportunity to give some of the kids the FCA bracelets and also hand out some little Bibles for the kids. Yeah. I think that was really, really cool, and part of what's going to make us unique in showing that football is cool, but that's not the reason we're there. And the coolest part for me was when Eric would run back through what he said to the kids, and especially with the K through 3. Yeah. And you got all these little kids out there, and Eric's saying, what does this mean? And a little kid shouts, it's because Jesus loves us and died on the cross for us. And it's, you always, I think as you get older, not that we're old by any means, but as you get older, you really kind of miss looking at things with that childlike sense of just simplicity and innocence. And to just say, yeah, Jesus loves us. Jesus died on the cross for us. And just to kind of be able to sit down for a second and think, how cool is it to view things from that perspective, and to really think about it just as simple as it can be sometimes. And it was just so cool for me to see those kids talking about Jesus. And, it was brief. It wasn't anything crazy. We didn't get into some deep Bible study or anything, but we had a conversation. We normalized talking about just Jesus.
We planted a seed.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. And I think all of those moments for me, especially with the young kids, but all of those moments for myself was the best moments at camp for me. Absolutely.
It was special. Eric did a great job really simplifying it. I think a lot of times we get in over our head and try to complicate the gospel. But at the end of the day, it's 4 things, God loves us. Sin separated us. Jesus died for us. And what are we going to do about it? Are we going to trust Him? And so Eric did a great job doing that. That was awesome, though, to see those little kids responding. And at such a young age, you want to see them continue down that path. So that was awesome for sure. Trying to think, there was just so many great moments. At the end of the high school, camp, we did competitions. The competing was great. And
it was awesome.
What I love is, actually the relationship building aspect kind of leads into the competition. But all these kids, not all of them, a lot of the kids were there at last year's camp, and they go to separate schools. And it was cool to see the relationship that they built last year and them carry it on to this year. And, I mean, they've been together for 6 hours throughout the past, 365 days. And for them to have a great relationship, it was great. And I was talking with the line as they were getting ready to compete, doing one-on-ones and pass blocking drills, and then, edge rushing and whatever. And they were talking, just everyone's having a great time, laughing. Everyone's having a blast. I said, you guys got to be able to flip that switch and remind it. And you're still going against that guy and you're competing, and they're well, would Jesus want us to be mean right now? Just in a joking way of, having fun and saying, questioning me, why would I want them to be mean to each other. But I was like, at the same time, Jesus had tough love. And so it was just a good conversation for them to ask questions and want to know and really see that, Jesus wasn't this rude, mean guy, but he also wasn't a teddy bear. He got his hands dirty. He flipped some tables when he needed to. And not saying flipping tables is like a pass blocking, but just Jesus did what he needed to do, but he did it in a loving way. It was tough love. And it was awesome, dude. Everything was a blast. There were younger kids. There was this one kid named Benaiah. And I was like, do you know where your name comes from, Benaiah? And he's like, yeah, in the Bible, it was one of David's mighty men. And just like things like that just really get you motivated to want to continue to help and continue and just get you so excited for the next camp.
Yeah, absolutely. On that, we'll plug it real quick.
Yeah.
Like you said, 11 days out, June 28th, Ithaca High School, camp number 2 of the summer, in partnership with Carter St. John and Quarterbacks vs. Cancer Foundation and Terry Hesbrook and the B4 Foundation. I think it's going to be really, really cool to get to share some amazing messages from some people that are doing really, really, really powerful work in the world. And I think, like you said, we're going to compete and we're going to get after it, but we're going to grow as people. All of us are, I think. We're going to get the opportunity to learn and talk and have some very, very good conversations. So definitely don't miss that one. June 26th.
28th.
28th. Well, 28th is the camp.
Oh, yes.
26th.
Look at you, man. You're dialed.
Episode 1.
Yes.
Of
the Jesus
Football
podcast.
show.
The show.
The show.
On the podcast.
Bakira.
On Bakira Network. It is going to be, we're going to go to any of our social medias. We're going to talk about all that.
Yep.
And we'll post a bunch about it, but that's going to be coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. A lot of exciting stuff.
A lot of exciting
Those
stuff.
two organizations are really close to you and hit home for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome,
excited.
Man. For sure. One more little quick story about the camp yesterday. This is top 5 for sure, and it wasn't even at the camp. So I drove. You drove.
Yep.
Because we needed both cars. My sister drove because we needed her car. My brother drove to the camp later because of just getting there later than we did. And then my other buddy came from a different direction, so he drove too. So we were all 5 cars.
Are you going to tell this stupid story?
This is awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
So we're celebrating the camp, and we're like, let's go get ice cream. So it's probably 2 miles from the college. We're driving, and I was the only one that knew where we were going because, I put it in the nav. Everyone was like, I'll follow you. So I was like, cool. So I put it in the nav. I'm driving. We're in 2 lanes. Picture this. We're in 2 lanes. I'm on the left. We're in the left lane, but we're about to turn right in probably like 0.5 miles. I get in the right lane, and I'm looking in the rear view, making sure everyone's following or whatever. One by one, each car gets in the right lane. And it was just funny the way everyone did it. Everyone put their blinker on, got over, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And I'm like, well, let's have some fun with it. I get back in the left lane, and one by one, every car goes back in the left lane, and I am cracking up, dude. We are dying laughing. One by one, but I'm like, we have to get back over. But every car got in the left lane, and then one by one, I got back in the right lane, and everyone got back over. And then we get to the ice cream place, and everyone gets out. Hey, what are you doing up there? You trying to be funny? And I was like, absolutely. It was hilarious. It was awesome. I wish you would have seen it from my rearview mirror.
I saw it from my perspective in the chain of cars.
What car were you?
The Mariner.
I know that. What car?
Oh, 3.
Number 3?
3.
That was awesome.
Middle of the pack.
That was great.
It was one of the more annoying things you've ever done to me. But
that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
Yeah.
That was funny. Okay. Father's Day was this Sunday. Mm-hmm. It was a great church service message. Really hit home. Not to me, I'm not a father, but really hit home to everything that I'm trying to become as a father. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of wanted to touch on some stuff from that. You weren't able to listen to the message. You were back at home. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to touch on some things from it and just kind of wanted to get your thoughts with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Please hold.
What did you let me talk about? I already plugged everything.
You did plug everything. Okay, so church really, so first off, church started with a video, and it did the same with Mother's Day. It was really good, but church started with a video about a dad and a son, or a dad and a daughter just talking, and the question was, how long are you going to be able to tell them? Because the last person was talking, but the camera was just on her, and it panned over, and there was nobody there because her dad passed away. And just the question is that started was, how long are you going to be able to tell them? And it was hashtag tell them now. So that was awesome. I thought that was just a really good start. But then what it talked about was toxic masculinity versus being a godly man, and what our world has done with being a man. And even the people like Ashton Hall, is that his name?
I think so.
He does these, I don't know, little day in the life type videos where he does great things, but then people make fun of him for it. And it was talking about that of just the world now has turned into being healthy into something that you can make fun of, and how being a godly man is now looked down upon. And so just all these things. But there was a couple things that I wanted to talk about. Pastor Adam said that he was going through some things and he was complaining and just talking to his wife, and she was listening and she was being open to it. And then there was just one time that he was just really complaining. And what had happened was she let him talk. She let him keep talking, but he was complaining. He wasn't talking about it anymore. He was complaining about it. And she let him finish, and then she goes, "Are you a lion?" And she what she meant by that was, she said, "Are you a lion? Because you keep talking about this, and it's time to, I hear everything you're saying, but it's time to either take action about it or move on." And that really hit me, because it's lions don't wait. You know what I mean? They're either they see something that they want, and they're either going to go get it or they're going to move on. And I think that really helps us in terms of, especially as men, sometimes we overthink things, but at the end of the day, if we need to take action or we need to move on. And so if there's something in your past, and this hit home for me, something in your past that is holding you back or making you think about things, you got to be a lion. It's time to take action and do something about it, or it's time to move on. And so that was one of the things. Do you have anything to add with that? Just off that first thought?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I wasn't there for
Yeah.
this service, but I can definitely appreciate the message. I think that can apply to everyone. I think you can apply
sure.
that whether you're a father, a mother, a son, a daughter, brother, sister, whatever you are. I think you can apply that just to life in general and all your different circumstances. And I think that it's very easy to kind of give into what sometimes the flesh wants to tell us, which is, this is just hard.
Yeah.
This is hard. This stinks. Poor me. Kind of have that victim mentality. And, I'm not saying that you can't ever be upset.
For sure.
You can always,
There's a time and a
there's
place,
time and a place to
absolutely.
be upset, and your feelings are valid. And
Yeah.
But at what point are you just complaining because, oh, it's hard?
Yeah.
I think you can apply that in any role that you have in life, because we all want to be the best version of ourselves, and we, should all strive to grow closer to God in everything that we do and be the best that we can be in whatever role that we play for the people in our life. And, you can apply that, I think, in any of those roles, and you can either complain about it or, you can do something about it, or at some point you got to move on.
Yeah.
You can only do so much all the time.
Yeah.
As far as the poor me thing.
100%. 100%. At some point, you have to make a decision of what you're going to do. Absolutely. I love that. Another thing that he talked about was, so the verse that he went to was 1 Corinthians 16, 13 and 14. And it says, "Be watchful." And all these are directions. "Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. Let all that you do be done in love." And so the two things that he touched on, and he touched on the entire verse and broke down every single one of them, but the two things that I want to focus on is act like men. And so what that's saying is, he's really saying, hey, it's time to man up. You act like men. But with that, I think a lot of times we think act like men, okay, we need to dominate, we need to be directive and mean and this big burly guy or whatever. But then what the verse ends with is, let all that you do be done in love. And so we need to be able to act like men and be strong in the faith and be firm, like the verse says, but it finishes and reminds us, let all that you do be done in love. And so then what he went to talk on about was Jesus and how Jesus was the lion, strong, fierce, but the lamb also. And he touched on power and then vulnerability, being able to do both, because we need to be powerful as men, but we also have to be able to show vulnerability. And he also talked about power and presence and how the power of men, or the presence of men, matters. And it changes how a family acts. It changes a lot. The presence of men matter. And when a man is in the household, things look different. And therefore, the opposite, the lack of men in a household matters too, and it makes a difference. And I just thought it was a great church message, and I kind of wanted to touch on just a couple little things in there. But it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think those are all great points. I think you need to be able to do both, I think, because as cliche as it sounds, right, that's the example that God is for us. God is all powerful. God can conquer all. God will lead us as his children to the right place and exactly where we're supposed to be. But God's open. God is loving. God, in a sense, is vulnerable and is willing to have those conversations with us about what we need and what we should do. And I think that it's difficult to sometimes find that balance between, because the world's going to tell you that, quote, being a man is tough guy, no emotion type of stuff like that. But I think it's more being able to be that strong leader, but strong leaders are also able to have conversations with the people they care about and make sure that they're okay physically, spiritually, emotionally, and all that stuff. Yeah. So I think finding that balance is difficult, but it's important to know that we need that balance as men.
Yeah, well, I think us trying to find our balance is found in the Lord. A lot of times we want to be a man. Like, everyone wants to be a man. That's a quote, be a man. Man up about it. Well, where do we look? Where do we look on how to become a man? Where do we go to? And we need to go to the Lord. We can, because you're either chasing the spirit or you're chasing the flesh. And the flesh is all these social media influencers in today's world that make you think that power is in how many girls you can get, how much money you have, how nice your car is that you drive. That's power. But at the end of the day, power is in sitting back and seeing everything, taking action when you need to, and standing firm in the faith, knowing that everything's going to work out. But also, like Lion and the Lamb, is taking action when you need to. So this is a great little commercial, I guess, a little 5-second speeches. If you want to be like a man, go look at Jesus. If you want to learn how to become a man, go to Jesus, and he's going to show you the way, just like you said, God will. Man, I love it. I love
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
It's good stuff, man. Quote. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
You want to go old or new today?
New.
Let's go new. Just finished up, what, May?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Maybe. All right, here we go. Ooh, this kind of actually goes right into it, and I love that.
Okay.
The battle gets harder before it gets won. The battle gets harder before it gets won.
Okay.
You want to start, or you want me to?
You start.
Okay.
Give me a second to think about that.
I'm going to need a second, too. First off, a battle itself, if it was easy, it wouldn't be a battle. That's going to be the first thing that I think of when you hear the word the battle. The battle is a fight. It is a knockout war. Exchanging punches of you're going to get some win, you're going to get some highs, and you're going to get some lows. But the devil always attacks the hardest right before he's about to lose you.
Right.
And any temptation and any fight and anything the devil tries to do to take you away and make you lose, like, he's going to give you everything he's got. But that's exactly the moment that you have to give everything you got. Because right before you win is when he's going to give you the biggest battle and the hardest battle. Because right after he gives you everything you got and you succeed, he's got no choice but to lay down. That's kind of what I got for that. That's what I think about. You have to understand that in a battle, you don't have the opportunity to lie down. You can't let your guard down. It is a battle. It is a war. When you let your guard down is exactly when the devil strikes.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to be ready to fight and fight constantly, but know that when you can't fight, that's when the Lord's going to fight for you. When you are giving everything you got and you have nothing else to give, you have to know that the Lord is on your side and he will provide for you and be okay. And everything's going to work out.
So that actually kind of leads into where I was going to go with this, actually. I was going to say that very few battles you can fight alone.
Very true.
Right? So I think sometimes we forget, maybe not forget, but we don't consciously think about all the time that the devil's very real. The enemy is a very, very real thing.
Yeah.
And in those battles, like you said, when the devil realizes he's on the verge of losing, it's that last final push to gain some momentum back and keep this fight dragging on, right? So it is the hardest push. But very few battles can be fought by yourself. So that's when it's important to, of course, rely on the people around you, be able to have those vulnerable discussions, right?
Yeah.
Noah, I'm struggling with this a lot.
Yeah.
You know, can you help me? Do you have any advice? Stuff like that.
We've had that.
We have.
In our relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many times.
Absolutely. And I think that's important to have as a man, a woman, child, whatever, wherever you're at. It's important to be able to be honest and be open about what you're struggling with, because it gives you a sense of togetherness and kind of shared struggle, which is a lot easier than fighting by yourself. But of course, obviously fighting as well with God on your side and relying on him, you know? And I think sometimes the saying of let go and let God can kind of be taken out of context, right?
Sure.
That doesn't mean give up and stop trying yourself. You know, that's not how it works. It means let go of really feeling any stress that somehow this isn't going to turn out better, right? Fight, work hard to, you know, get through this battle, knowing that God is on your side and God's going to get you through it. Mm-hmm. He's going to pull you through that last push. And I think in that last push, when it feels like, man, this could not possibly get any worse, is when it's so, so important to rely on both the community of people you have around you and also rely on God.
And that is a huge thing, is you need those people. Like you said, I mean, yeah, you need those people, but find those people.
Mm-hmm.
You need people in your life, and that's why I'm so thankful for you. And you need to find those people in your life that you can go to for anything, because you are not stronger than the devil.
Correct.
You're not. The devil knows all your moves before you even do anything.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the stuff that bothers you. He knows everything. Now, he doesn't know your thoughts, but you need to remember, and we've been talking about the devil a lot right now, but I want to preface this as fill in the blank. The devil, fill in the blank, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can, whatever it is. The devil's trying to attack me. The devil's trying to get me. The devil is hurting me really bad right now. Whatever that may be, fill in the blank. But the next part's even more important. But God.
Mm-hmm.
The devil can do whatever he wants. The devil, blank, but God. Because God is always going to be there and he's always going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love it. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right, what else we got?
What do you got for me?
We're getting into our blind rank.
Couple blind ranks to finish
games.
it up.
Here's the thing. Zach's got some blind rankings for me. Extreme blind rankings, because I don't even know what the themes are.
No.
I had no time to even think about anything, except that I'm blind ranking 5 things. We're going to blind rank. I'm going to blind rank.
Yep.
5 things. What I was thinking about on the way here, though, is I don't like being on this side. I like asking the questions better, to be honest. Yeah. So we'll do it.
I don't know. I think we got to get a little bit get you answering a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So
3 of them.
We got 3 categories here for the blind ranking. 2 of them completely unrelated to sports.
Oh, okay.
1 related to sports.
Gotcha. Yep.
You want a sports one first or completely unrelated?
Nope. Unrelated.
Unrelated?
That's the
Okay.
first thing. Yeah. Let's do
right.
it.
You ready?
I mean, not really.
Couple of these are pretty fun.
Okay.
We'll start with the really fun
Well,
one.
you keep talking about it. I have no idea what it is.
Okay,
So.
ready? All right. Blind ranking these completely useless superpowers.
Useless?
Without knowing what comes next.
Okay.
Useless superpowers.
One being.
One being you'd want that one the most.
And 5 being.
You don't want that one.
It actually is useless.
It's useless in the most useless category of stuff.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
You're with me.
Sure.
We're locked in. Okay.
Yep.
You ready?
Okay.
Okay. At any point, you can turn water into coconut LaCroix.
I don't even like anything fizzy. That might be the worst one. What if people... 4.
4? Okay. I like that. That's safe. That's safe.
Wait, I can just do it whenever I want?
At any point, you can turn water into coconut LaCroix.
I feel like that might be fun, though. That might be
You could
fun.
turn the Pacific Ocean into coconut LaCroix if you wanted to.
I'm going to move that to 3.
3?
I'm going to put it at 3.
All
I'm
right.
locking my answer at 3 because that could get fun.
Okay.
Like, what if you were walking by, this is going to sound so mean. What if you were walking by a baby stroller in the mall and the baby's drinking water and you just turn it into coconut?
You went to a really dark place with that.
Yeah, I apologize. That was kind of mean.
Super villain powers.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We'll put that at 3.
Like right next to your bedside, you're sleeping, you wake up, need a drink of water, but it's coconut LaCroix.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Putting that at 3?
Yeah, we'll go 3.
Okay. You always know when someone's about to sneeze.
How crazy would it be to bless them before they sneeze?
Right.
Because you know how you like pause and you're like, oh, I'm going to sneeze. And then you bless them and then they don't sneeze. Happens to us quite frequently.
All the time, actually, with
But
our
you don't-
allergies right now.
Yeah, you don't sneeze though sometimes.
Right.
But if you always knew when they were going to sneeze, you could do it.
And what if you were walking by somebody on the street
Yes.
10 minutes before they're about to sneeze
Yeah.
and you can bless them?
Oh, 10 minutes? Hey, you're going to sneeze in 10. Wait, so do you just know all the time? You walk by someone and
I
you
would
see
give you-
above their head.
I'd give you a 10-minute window.
That'd be awesome. Hey, in 8 minutes, you're going to sneeze. Bless you, brother. That dude would think about you all day.
All day.
Yeah, I'm going to put that at 1.
1?
Already.
Okay.
That one gets me fired up.
Okay. I like
That
that.
one's sweet.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
You can
This is fun.
You can hover 1 inch above the ground.
Hover as in I can do everything 1 inch above the ground.
Yeah.
So you're saying I'd be like 6'2"?
You'd be 6 foot.
Wow. I'd be 6'1" and a half. 3/4. That doesn't really do anything for me. 4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't
so
get fired up about that one.
what do we got? We got 2 and 5
2
open.
and 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
You glow a little bit when you're nervous.
That would I wouldn't be a fan of that one either. I'd probably go 5 with that one.
5?
Yeah.
All right. I can get behind that.
Yeah, because you can't fake being nervous.
Correct.
So then, like, yeah, I wouldn't.
And
like
you
that
only
either.
glow a little bit anyways.
Oh, just a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, then 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can speak fluent dolphin, but only when you're underwater.
That is awesome.
Isn't it?
Too. That's
Yeah.
a great list.
Right?
Would you change anything?
I think I'd put the dolphin one at 1. Other than that, I'm with you all the way.
That was a good list.
That was a good one.
nice.
That was.
I was a big fan of that.
That was a good one.
I might just start walking by people and say, hey, you're going to
Bless you.
sneeze. Yes. Hey, you would just, like, let's do that.
Just-
I
yeah.
have to sneeze right now.
Actually?
Kind of.
Okay.
You walk by someone and hey, 22 minutes from now, start your timer. You're going to sneeze. Bless you.
Bless
brother.
you.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
awesome.
really have to sneeze right now.
Well, until you get it out, we're going to move on to the next one.
Okay.
Sports, non-sports.
Sports.
Okay, sports. I think this one's going to be a little bit fun.
Okay.
Okay? Blind rank these unbreakable sports records without knowing what comes next. So 1 is you think it is the most untouchable.
Okay.
5 is you think it's the most likely to at some point be broken.
Okay. I
Okay?
like that. Yep.
All right.
This is a good one.
First one,
You come up with this?
I did.
Nice.
I did. First one, Wayne Gretzky, 2,857 NHL points.
Big hockey guy. Huh?
Big hockey
Ain't
guy.
getting touched. Ain't getting touched.
How untouchable?
One.
You think one?
One.
That is the record least likely to ever be broken in sports.
Yeah.
All right.
Ovi's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
You can take away Wayne Gretzky's goals, and he's still number one.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
All right.
One.
I'm with you.
You're probably going to do something crazy that I've never even heard of, but I like it.
I think I have a couple that you probably didn't
Dang, if
know
you have
what they were.
Joey Chestnut in here, that's probably
That's
up
a
there.
blind ranking.
Yeah, I know.
Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 points in a game.
5.
5?
I'm so serious about that. I'm waiting for the
5.
notification on my phone that someone broke that record. I mean it.
We don't have to dive too deep into the conspiracy theories, but I don't think he did it.
I'm with you.
I don't think he did it.
There's some crazy videos out there.
There's videos of him doing everything else
I'm with you.
except scoring 100 points in a game.
There's some crazy videos of things that are like, what the heck? Like the first camera ever being used.
Yes.
1542. And you
I don't know if that's the actual.
I don't know. I was just throwing
I'm
that
with
out
you,
there.
though.
Like, come on.
There's a lot of video
Come on.
of his career.
That's what I'm saying. And then they can turn it into color. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
there's no 100-point game.
However, it is in the record books.
Could you play in the NBA in the 50s?
That's a different discussion for a different day.
Okay, add it to the list.
Okay, ready? Cal Ripken, 2,632 consecutive Major League Baseball games played in. Didn't miss a single game for 2,632 games straight.
How many games are in a season?
162.
Can you pull out your calculator a little bit?
I can.
How many seasons is that? That's pretty crazy.
That's a great question.
Because, like, yeah, I'm going to get a little hate for this. Baseball players.
That is 16 seasons.
That's pretty impressive.
Straight.
That's pretty impressive.
Without missing a game.
That's probably number one.
You put Gretzky at one.
I know. But that's pretty crazy.
It is, right?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Favre did it. And I think football's a lot tougher than
Correct, but he didn't play in 2,000 straight games.
that would be a very long time.
That would be.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
16 straight. What do I have? One?
You have 1 and 5 taken up.
Oh. I'll probably go 2 then.
2?
That's pretty crazy.
It's crazy. I think the way that just sports work now, it might be slightly more unbreakable than Gretzky.
They just need more unbreakable?
Yeah.
No, I would agree.
Because that is literally 16 seasons straight without missing a game.
Yeah. People get a hangnail now and they don't play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
Okay, ready?
Wow. Learn something new every day.
UCLA men's basketball,
Yep.
88 consecutive wins
Also did
in the
not know
Wooden
that.
era.
Also did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
These are good, dude.
Right?
Look at you, man.
You got 3 and 4, so you're kind of in the same ballpark regardless.
Yeah, but are you going to do an absolute banger for number 5, like the last one? It's going to be more likely to happen than the last one, so I'm going to put it at 4.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We'll put it at
Probably
4.
not going to happen.
I think the last one I gave you is the most likely to be broken because
see.
people have gotten close recently,
Okay, go ahead.
and they added another game. You know where I'm going?
Yeah, I mean,
Calvin Johnson, 2,014 receiving yards in a season.
yeah, I mean,
Because Cooper Kupp got like 1,900 a couple years back.
yeah.
So I think you put that one 3 then, if that's your spot open. But we had some good ones in there.
We had some really good ones. I don't like my list at all, but I don't even know
The only one
would,
that I would switch is I would switch
a lot.
actually a lot of it. Yeah,
That
that's
was
true.
a very good one. I don't know what I would do if you gave me those in a 5 and told me to rank them. That'd be tough. That's
Just
a
gave
good
you 5
list.
straight up.
You just told me, hey, rank all of these, and you told me all of them. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, man. Wow.
Unprofessional.
Who's calling me?
It's all right.
Let me turn my ringer off.
Talk to him in a second.
No.
Okay, we got one more
Block him.
category.
I'm going to block him.
Yeah?
No. One more.
One
Yeah,
more
let's
blind
rock.
rank.
Let's rock.
Okay. Blind rank these pets without knowing what comes next. 1.
Are they actual pets?
Sure.
Animals or pets?
Animals.
I would have a pet bear, just an FYI.
I would love a pet bear. Brother Bear is like my favorite movie ever.
Is it?
Yeah.
Better than Sandlot? Little shade thrown there.
Maybe.
Oh, I just want to preface. I did not pick the top 16 sports movies of all times. I know
kidding,
I missed.
you didn't.
I know I missed some good ones. Also, I think Soul Surfer is a sports movie. FYI.
Yeah, sure.
I know I missed Hoosiers. I know I missed Rudy. I know I missed Remember the Titans. Like I didn't pick the top 16. I just picked 16. I got a little heated there. I got some heat for that.
You did.
You know who I got some heat from that from?
Who's that?
Your father.
I know.
Carry on.
All right, here we go. Blind ranking these pets without knowing what comes next.
Yep.
1, obviously, is the pet you'd want to have the most.
Yep.
5 is the least.
Okay.
An armadillo.
Do they do anything?
They can. They have the shell, right? And they can.
Can
roll
you
into a
bowl with an armadillo?
It's your pet, dude.
Does it hurt them?
That's what the shell's for.
Like a rock hard shell.
I think so. I don't know how they would handle the ball return, but
That's a good answer. Dude, that'd be kind of cool. I'll put it at 3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, saving yourself some room.
Because
like
I bowl so much.
yeah,
you know?
totally. A peacock,
I would crap my pants
right?
if I had to get up and pee in the middle of the night.
There's a peacock in your house.
Yeah, but it's just chilling, and then it's feathers spread.
I'd freak out. Period. I don't like birds. Birds freak me out.
Oh, good to know. That is great to know.
Birds freak me
We're
out.
going to get a bird in here one time.
No.
Peacocks. I don't think I'd like that. Probably a 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be wild.
We're still
I don't
going.
think-
We're still going
I mean,
a little
they-
conservative with these answers.
They'd be pretty. But
You're
that's
being
about it.
safe here.
I know.
Okay.
I'm happy with this so far.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
A macaroni penguin.
What? I don't know what that is.
The one with the yellow things and happy feet.
Oh, okay.
It's gay. Looks like it's got hair.
Never seen it.
But you've seen this type of penguin.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I've never seen that. We should let's do a segment once where we talk about all the movies we've never seen.
That's it. We could.
You want to
do that.
confess anything right now?
Star Wars. I've never seen a second of any Star Wars movie ever.
That's a crime.
I've never seen a second of any Harry Potter movie ever.
Well, Star Wars is more of a crime. I guess they're both. I have seen a Harry Potter's.
I don't know, dude.
I fell asleep, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay. Wow.
Macaroni penguin.
Do I live here?
Yeah.
I feel like that wouldn't be safe for him. 5.
Wow.
Are they big?
I don't know. How big's a penguin?
Well, there's like the emperor penguins that are like.
I don't know. It's just got to be here-ish.
Well, yeah, but then you also
About
have the
the
massive
table.
ones. How big are the massive ones?
You're asking the wrong guy.
I don't care that much. 5. I'm
5?
sticking with my answer.
All right.
Yeah.
1 and 2 open.
Yep. Either gonna love it or hate it.
A mountain goat.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. I get home from work one day. Well, I work in the basement, but I get home from work. I go outside to go get the mail.
And
I
your mountain goat's on top of the mailbox.
Yes. Mailbox. How about the roof?
Yeah, the roof probably.
Yeah. Or on top of the antenna on my truck.
Yeah.
Because that's how good they can climb.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome. How good's the last one going to be? I'm going to go 1.
1 for the mountain goat.
I would buy a mountain goat right now.
I think.
Do they have horns? No, that's a ram.
That's a ram.
Are we kind of dumb?
Maybe.
Okay.
Probably a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm with you. But
This
the last one's fire.
Dang it.
Ready?
Yeah.
A baby snow leopard.
That's awesome.
Right?
Can we buy those like right now?
I'm pretty sure you cannot. But we can look for them.
You got money for it?
No.
That's crazy. That's wild.
I don't hate the list.
I'm happy. I'd probably switch 1 and I'd switch 1 and 2. I'd switch 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That was pretty good.
absolutely.
That was your best game performance by far on any podcast we've done.
1 for 5 is not bad. It's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
It's not great, but
I'm trying to think of any sport where 1 for 5 is good.
it's not even good in baseball.
Not really.
Baseball, you can only succeed 30% of the time and you're pretty good, but you're at 20 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not very good. Okay, yeah. Wow. I mean, I had some good whatever. Okay.
I think that might be all she wrote.
That's all she wrote for today.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on that we will miss between now and the next podcast? We're filming this, what's today, Tuesday? Game 5 tonight, Stanley Cup.
5
Panthers
or
are up
6?
6. Panthers are up 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
wanna see-
Thunder just went up 3-2.
Did
NBA
they really?
finals,
I didn't
yeah.
see that. All right. How about that?
That's all we got, I think.
That's all we got. Awesome. Love you guys. Subscribe, comment, like,
Share.
Tell
your
Go
friends.
follow us on social media.
Tell your friends about it.
Sign up for a camp.
Buy something.
Buy something. Shop now, JesusFootball.org.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's about it, guys. We'll love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
God bless.